Critical consideration for evaluating the effectiveness of emergency response. Following any type of emergency response, it's important that the management team be properly debriefed. This process helps all levels of responders evaluate exactly how effective any emergency response actually was and helps to identify whether there are specific areas that should be handled differently in the event that the response needs to be implemented again at a later date. Those who are critiquing the response should have extensive experience with this type of emergency response that occurred and should not have participated in the actual emergency response themselves. The following is a list of 10 specific question areas that should be addressed as any emergency response is evaluated. Number 1. Was the incident immediately detected? If not, then why? Number 2. Upon discovery of emergency incident, were the proper management officials notified promptly? Number 3. Was the emergency addressed properly to determine severity and magnitude? How was the level of emergency determined? Number 4. How was the emergency response team mobilized? Did the response begin quickly enough? Was the initial response effective in containing the emergency? Number 5. Prior to the incident, was there an emergency response plan, ERP, in place, and were the responders adequately familiarized with the details? Number 6. What resources were immediately available? Were they adequate in terms of personnel, equipment, and other needs? Number 7. How quickly was the emergency response plan implemented? Was it prompt enough? Number 8. Was the chain of command appropriate? Were the management personnel organized and prepared appropriately? Was there adequate financial support to implement the emergency response plan? Number 9. Was government involvement appropriate, too much or too little? Were there appropriate agencies kept informed throughout the plan implementation as needed? Are there any political or environmental sensitive issues that need to be addressed on a government level following the incident? Number 10. Following the implementation of the emergency response plan, was the public relations portion handled well? What could have been done differently to change any negative public perception of the response? Was the public polled regarding the emergency response and any results? How were the reporters handled? Each of these suggestions indicates a specific area that needs to be reviewed following the implementation of an emergency response team in an effort to increase effectiveness for the next potential implementation. Any process can be improved, and seeking to improve the emergency response plan through a detailed debriefing and review can lead to a better, safer emergency response.